party than you
Thank you.
ever.
Beautiful.
I'm
So-
a big head today.
And you deserve it. So this is I'm recording. I wanted to ask some questions for posterity. It's not every day you get to meet someone
That's true.
who is 95 years young.
That's right.
Young, not old. My goodness. I looked at some of the photos and I'm like, you haven't changed. So I just this is so exciting, and I'll try to keep it quick. There's so much I could ask Twyla. What was the hardest thing for you growing during the Depression? Because you grew up during the Great Depression. What was the biggest challenge for you?
Being hungry a lot and having to cook and clean and do the dishes and so on when I was only 6 years old.
Wow. So even as a
My
little
dad was
child,
away
you
from
had
home.
hunger pangs. There were times when you didn't eat.
Yes.
A lot of people don't understand that, and it might seem like a repetition, but a lot of people don't get that, and I think it's really important.
My dad had to work away from home quite a bit to be able to feed his family, but there would still be times in between, you know. And then sometimes my grandparents would come in from the farm that was 15 miles away and bring us a little bit of food. But other than that, we didn't have very much to eat at all.
Oh my gosh. I've heard records there was as much as 25% unemployment. Did you see like a lot of homeless? Was there a lot of poverty in where you lived?
There were bread lines.
Oh my
They
God.
had a lot of bread lines for people that didn't have food. That was the biggest part of poverty that I saw.
So let me go to a happier memory. Do you remember where you were when you found out that we won in Europe and in Japan for World War II?
I was
Do you
living
remember?
in Hawthorne.
Okay.
No. When the war was over, we had moved up we'd moved up to Sacramento,
Okay.
and the war was over first summer, I think, after I moved up there.
Wow.
But when we lived in Hawthorne, we were between three airplane factories,
Okay.
and we expected to be bombed at any minute.
Oh
We had air raid
wow.
drills at school and everything.
But you were in Sacramento when it was victory in Europe and victory in Japan?
Yeah, we were on in fact, we were on a camping trip up in the mountains,
Okay.
and people heard on the radio, and everybody started celebrating.
That must have been
It
amazing.
was April the 4th, 1945, I think.
Did your dad or an uncle, did they serve in the European theater or the Asian
No, they were
theater?
too old then.
No, interesting.
My two sons, well, one went in the Marines, the other went in the Air Force, but that was when the war was, the Vietnam War was on.
I see.
My son didn't have to go.
I see. What would you say to this generation? What can they do so they can live to be as old as you are? What would your advice be?
Keep active, keep positive, enjoy life, have good genes.
Okay. If they don't have that, they can do the other things and that
Right.
can help.
Yeah.
What was it like? You lived when the radio came out, when the television first came out. What was that like?
It was black and white, and it rolled a lot. And in fact, before we even had television, we got to go over to my husband's brother's house and watch TV on Sunday evenings.
Okay.
But the kids had to sit right there and be still, and watch TV. And that was a real pleasure because we didn't have a TV yet, And then we finally got a black and white one. It was a used one, and it flipped, and the thing went out, and we finally got another used one, and then finally colored came in.
How did you learn that we had victory in Europe and Japan then if you didn't have a TV? How did you find out?
Well, there were radios.
Okay, you had a radio
Everything
like in
was
your
on there.
car or
Uh-huh.
okay.
Yeah.
So you're talking to a generation that would never understand this. So I really appreciate
Well,
that.
during the war, we listened to the radios, how we knew what was going on.
Understood.
And Movie Tone News on Saturdays, we went to the matinee. I forgot to share this.
You'd go to the theater.
We had to earn the dime to go to the matinee, and my folks were that poor.
Wow.
So,
Well, I really appreciate you sharing your history with us. Thank you.
okay, thank you.
God bless.